Having empathic abilities is actually a superpower, and this is a skill set that we have to fine-tune to really strengthen and to benefit from it and to help others with it. In this video, we're going to explore 5 different ways of how you can create healthy boundaries and stop absorbing energy from other people and from the environment around you. Because I know that as an empath, it can be overwhelming, right? Like you go to a grocery store, you walk in calm, chill, and you end up walking out anxious, overwhelmed, flustered. Or maybe when you're talking to a friend, you go into the conversation feeling energized and optimistic, and after the conversation you end up feeling drained. Or maybe you're the type of empath that is just hanging around the park, minding your own business, and then a stranger comes and they tell you all of their life problems, they tell you their secrets, right? These are all symptoms of being an empath. And we're going to explore these 5 different ways of how you can enhance and fine-tune your empathic abilities and help others and help yourself with these abilities. So the first thing you have to do is you have to cleanse and balance your energy field. It's just like when you're brushing your teeth every day, washing your face every day, you are practicing hygiene. You need to practice energy hygiene on a daily basis. Otherwise, your energy will be more susceptible to absorbing other energy from the environment and from the people around you. You will also feel more scattered when you have an imbalanced and unclear energy field. Now, what are the ways that we can do this? You can use sound healing. Sound healing is one of the most powerful ways to cleanse your energy field because it goes straight into the subconscious. The conscious mind doesn't get in the way. You don't need any fancy equipment like singing bowls. All you need to do is you need to sing, hum, chant, and that will help to clear your field. You can also use alchemy. That's my favorite way of doing it, working with fire, air, earth, water, and light to cleanse my energy field, balance it, and optimize it. If you want to learn how to practice alchemy with the elements, check out my alchemy workshop in the description of this video. Another way for you to cleanse and balance your energy field is practicing meditation. Meditation is a wonderful way for you to cleanse and to harmonize and to align yourself. Also using crystals, using essential oils, using Palo Santo, rosemary, sage. Find what works for you. But one of the best ways to cleanse your energy field is seriously by paying attention to your thoughts and to your emotions and constantly harmonize these. So this takes us to number 2, the second way of harmonizing our energy. And this is by identifying what is your home energy. Now, what does home energy mean? Your home energy is what does your energy mean without absorbing other emotions and other energy from the environment and people around you. To figure out what your home energy is, and this is why meditation is so great, is you have to take into account 2 things, your emotions and your body. So take account for what emotions did you feel in the last 7 to 10 days. Why is this important? Because our emotions are always fluctuating. I mean, they're nearly changing every single minute. But if you take a look at the past 7 to 10 days, it'll give you a baseline of what your emotional state has been. And this way, when you go to an event with a bunch of people or you go to a new place and you end up feeling overwhelmed, or maybe like you're really sad when you had just been joyful and peaceful for the past 10 days, that'll be a good signal and indicator that you absorbed energy. So take a look at your most common emotions to identify the baseline. Also, you want to take a look at your body because your body is always communicating to you. The body uses pain as a language, right? It can't be like, hey soul, pay attention to me, right? So it uses pain as language, discomfort as language. And you have to be mindful of what your home energy is like, right? Like what are your aches and pains internally? Because sometimes as empaths, we can go into a conversation and let's say that person is having uncomfortable stomach issues. You can feel their stomach get contracted in your own stomach, right after that conversation, you may have picked that up. And the best way for you to discern whether that emotion is yours or not is by identifying what was your home energy like. Also, you can ask your stomach, talk to your body. Your body can communicate with you. So just take a moment and sit and talk to your belly. Ask, is this emotion mine, or is this something that I picked up? So don't be afraid to communicate with your body parts. So the two things to figure out your home energy is awareness, being aware of your emotions and being aware of your body. Now the third thing, and this is one of my favorite things, is connecting with your soul. Your soul is the aspect of you that transcends time and space. And this aspect of you has memories across lifetimes, past, present, parallel lives. And so let's say, for example, you're going to a new country, and when you go to this new country, you feel like, whoa, I feel like I've been here before. This place feels so comfortable. You feel very confident there, very safe there. That can be an indicator that that was from a past life. So you can connect with your soul to confirm, but it goes the other way, right? Let's just say we go to a specific place. Like this happened to me. I went to this religious center. I actually didn't even go in. I was outside, and I got knee pain, and the knees are connected to ancestral karma. So I knew something was up there, with connecting with my soul's lineage. And so you have to discern, right, whether the stuff that you're picking up on is from this lifetime or another, and connecting with your soul will help you to do that. Also, connecting with your soul will help you to identify whether the emotions that you're picking up are from the collective or they're yours. So for example, in that previous example I just gave you, right? I went to this religious center. Before I stepped foot, my knee started to hurt. It's possible that before going into this religious center, and it can be anywhere, right? Like it can be a hospital, it can be a lunchroom, whatever. It doesn't have to be religious. But as you're going in, maybe you just start to feel a lot of grief, and you start to just bawl your eyes out, and you don't know why. It's because you're either sensing the energy of the room, of the people who are there, or you are connecting with a memory from a past life. You see, so discernment is very important here, and by connecting with your soul, it allows you to practice discernment. Check out this video up here to learn how you can practice discernment using your heart chakra. Now, we can absorb energy from the collective when the energy is very intense. Like for example, during eclipse season, which happens twice a year, it's a time where we are purging. We're purging. So during that month, you may feel extra emotional, extra grief. You may feel extra heightened sensations in your body, and know that that could be that you're helping the collective purge the karma, because eclipse seasons are often the periods of time where we cleanse karma individually, ancestrally, and also collectively. So by connecting with your soul, you can ask, is this emotion something that I'm clearing for myself, or is this a collective thing that I am helping to clear? Because you have to understand that being an empath is being like a superhero. We have this super awesome ability, and there are different types of empaths. So let me know in the comments which type of empath you think you are. Are you the alchemist empath who likes to transmute? Are you the healer empath who helps people heal? Or are you the light warrior empath who helps bring awareness and consciousness? So depending on what type of empath you are, you're going to experience different things, and you're going to have different purposes. Now, for example, there are specific empaths here on Earth that their main mission and purpose is to help Mother Earth. So a lot of them will end up feeling the pain that Mother Earth feels, because all of us, whether you're a specific empath here to help the Earth or not, we all have an invisible umbilical cord with Mother Earth. This means that whenever there's, let's say for example, genocide among wildlife, or the waters are being polluted on Mother Earth, on Pachamama, Gaia, she will feel that grief, she will feel that anger, and you in turn could be experiencing that, and you're helping Mother Earth to transmute that. And also it goes both ways, right? Like we feel the energy of Mother Earth, but Mother Earth also feels the collective energy. So when there's war or there's atrocities happening in the world, Mother Earth will feel that human suffering, and then in turn we end up feeling that as well. So again, connecting with the soul will help you to identify where this is coming from. Okay, now the fourth thing is, if you think about the word emotion, it literally translates to energy emotion. And that is what you have to do. Emotions are governed by the element of water. And a fundamental principle of water is that it governs our emotions. So what is one of the principles of water? Water has to flow. It's the same thing with your emotions. Whether it's yours or it's something you absorb, you have to let it flow. And one of the things that we don't rely on enough is on the technology of the breath. The breath lets you breathe all of that out, and just breathe out any intensity that you may be feeling with the intention to release that, right? Because if you're like in your head trying to maybe make too much sense out of what you're experiencing, right? This is where discernment comes in. We have to be discerning that we're not creating too many stories in our head. Otherwise, we'll create a block, and the emotion will not actually be able to flow out of our energy field. So number 4 is breathe and let the emotions flow. Okay, and then the 5th, and this is one of the most difficult things that we empaths have difficulties with, and that is setting boundaries. Creating boundaries is so important. I'm going to go through this very briefly. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make another separate video about this, but boundaries are really important, and there's different types of boundaries that we as empaths have to set compared to other people. So that is creating an energy boundary, a time boundary, a consciousness boundary, a boundary with your higher self, and those are really important. And again, I'm going to go through them briefly. So an energy boundary is right before you go to an event with a bunch of people, or right before you go to a specific place that you know the energy is going to be overwhelming, you can use this affirmation. You can say, I am observing rather than absorbing. So just repeat that affirmation over and over again. And this is really important, right? Because in the principles of alchemy, the mind creates everything. So once you program your mind, before you actually go out of your house, it'll automatically be like, all right, I'm just absorbing rather than absorbing. And the other type of boundary that we have to create is a time boundary. So this used to happen to me a lot, where strangers would just come up to me and literally tell me their secrets. They would tell me all their life problems, and I would sit there with a total stranger for like 45 minutes, 90 minutes, and I would do that. But then I got to a point where I would end up being late to my next appointment. And so you have to be mindful of yourself. When we're creating boundaries, we're not creating boundaries because we're shady and we don't want to listen to people's problems or help them out. No, we're creating boundaries from a space of love. This is one of the most important mindset shifts you have to have when creating boundaries. You're not doing it because you're a mean person and you don't care. No, you're doing it out of compassion for yourself. And this is something that empaths struggle with. We are not compassionate with ourselves, right? We're always compassionate outwards, 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 but you have to return that compassion to yourself as well. So for example, you have to set time boundaries, right? Because if you don't respect your time, no one will respect your time. So that's on you. Another type of boundary you have to create is a consciousness boundary. So let's just say, for example, you were at the park and the stranger comes and they tell you, hey, I'm really nervous about this surgery that I'm having next week, and da 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 da. And after that, you're like, okay, good luck, I have to go. When you're at your next appointment, what if you're still thinking about that? What if you're like, oh, should I have stayed and given them better advice? Should I have done this, that? Every single time that you have a thought, about any previous situation or person, you are building an energy cord and strengthening it with every single thought that you have. So one of the ways to create this boundary with your consciousness is to, again, use the technology of the breath and breathe deeply. Let's just take a deep breath together right now. Take a deep belly breath and gently exhale out for 5 counts. Do you see how that breath brought you back here into the present moment? That is the power of the breath. And that is how you can create this boundary, because you can only breathe in the present. You can't breathe in the past based on what interactions you had in the past. You can only breathe in the present. So use the power of the breath to do that. Now, the other boundary you can create is having a boundary with your higher self. Now, this sounds counterintuitive. We're always connected to our higher self, obviously, but this is one of the reasons why discernment is so important. So I'm an alchemist empath, and oftentimes I would transmute energy for other people. So if you're familiar with ayahuasca ceremonies, people will often vomit to purge that energy out, right? So what I would do is I would also vomit and purge things as I was transmuting things for other people. And this was just in normal interactions. Sometimes it was in a ceremony. And that's just the way my higher self was transmuting energy. So I had to create an energy boundary with my higher self, and I had to tell them, hey, I don't want to vomit anymore to transmute energy. Instead, I want to burp to purge. So now in the monthly full moon ceremonies that we host, I will start to burp in the ceremonies, because purging, if I were to vomit, that's not very loving for my body, right? So you have to pay attention to what feels right for you. And again, a lot of the times, this healing that we're doing, this transmutation that we're doing is happening subconsciously. So it's something your body is automatically doing. And so by you communicating your boundaries to your higher self, you're helping to bring more alignment to that and bringing more awareness into it. One of the most important things about boundaries is you have to communicate them. Yes, our ancestors in Atlantis, in Mu, Lemuria, our starseed ancestors, they used telepathy to communicate, and we are going to get there, but that's not going to happen for the whole population in until 200, 300 years from now. So don't expect people to read your mind, to be telepathic. You have to actually communicate your boundaries, and it takes practice, so be compassionate and gentle with yourself. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your comments. Let me know what resonated with you. Thank you for your shares. I spent a lot of time making this video because it's so important for us to fine-tune these superpowers that sometimes can be overwhelming. So I hope you use this, and let me know if these helped you, and let me know what other videos you'd like to see. If you want to listen to free alchemy meditations to help you to sleep, focus, and manifest better, they are in the description of this video. Wishing you a beautiful day. Much love.